celebrating 5 decades of EAA AirVenture in Oshkosh.
For 50 years, aviation has been synonymous with the name Oshkosh.
Musical acts drawing in thousands to Boeing Plaza.
You come here for the airplanes, and every time you come here after that, it's to see old friends and be with the people that you know and love.
The Year of the Fighter, showcasing vintage and modern military aircrafts.
We have liftoff.
And honoring the 50th anniversary of Apollo 11. A week filled with innovation, camaraderie, and wonder for folks of all ages. More than 500,000 people drawn to the grounds for an aviation experience unlike any other. Good morning, everyone. I'm Brooke Hafes.
And I'm meteorologist Michael Fish. We're here. We made it. EAA AirVenture 2019 in Oshkosh, and it's a beautiful start.
It is beautiful. Little cool, Fish. Just a slight, I probably should have worn a jacket.
Well, the thing is, we've been standing out here for a couple hours now, so we're a little bit chilly, but I think the campers are probably pretty happy. Let's take a look at the maps here. We've got high pressure in charge this morning. That means things are nice and quiet. Here we go for the pilots. 59 degrees for you. I have an unlimited ceiling here. Skies are perfectly clear, but that could be changing just a smidge this afternoon. You see on the map, nothing happening around the state, but this is just kind of like yesterday. Watch here on Skycast, I put it in motion. There's the afternoon, and you see a couple tiny little dots of green. And like yesterday, that's a slight chance of maybe a stray shower. So we've got 59 in Fond du Lac. There's 58 in Green Bay to start your day. Going to warm up nicely to 83 degrees. And again, that slight chance of a shower as we go into the afternoon. For most of the day, Brooke, it's going to be just fine.
You know what, Fish? That's really great news because, as you know, hundreds of thousands of fans stop out at EAA AirVenture every year.
Yeah, and our Emily Beyer also joins us live this morning with more. Good morning, Em.
Hey guys, good morning everyone. It is a beautiful morning here at EAA AirVenture. Beautiful sunrise. We should be seeing that coming up here soon. I'm joined by Kyle Ludwig. You're with EAA AirVenture. You're also a pilot. Tell me, we're in a very special area here because of the 50th anniversary of EAA AirVenture happening here in Oshkosh.
We absolutely are. So we took the Brown Arch area this year, which is a very famous Oshkosh fly-in area, and we turned it into a conglomerate of aircraft that were here in 1970, our first fly-in. The owners came from all over the United States. Some of them are the same owner. The airplanes are in the same family as they were 50 years ago. Yeah. And they're out here camping and enjoying the week.
Yeah, I love that. That's so cool. We're trying not to wake anybody out here, you guys. You can kind of see their tents over there. But it's nice because we get to enjoy the aircrafts that they brought in. What is so unique about these planes that we're seeing?
So there's a huge mix of airplanes, everything from what's on the shot now, which is a Bucher Jungmeister, a German airplane, to a couple different special vintage and antique aircraft, home built, a very cool mix of airplanes from, again, our first show 50 years ago.
Yeah. What is it like for you? You were telling me this is your 23rd year here at EAA AirVenture. What is it like to just continuously experience this? This is like a little slice of heaven every week.
I think that for, 600,000 attendees, most of them think of this as their home away from home. Oshkosh is very special. It's the biggest industry event, and it's truly the homecoming for the aviation industry, and we just love coming to Oshkosh.
Yeah. What are you looking forward to today?
So today, two big things happening. Women Venture, so celebrating powerful female pilots. So United Airlines, Boeing, all bringing big teams in here to Oshkosh to celebrate that. And then tonight, our major night air show, probably one of the biggest ones we've ever had, culminated with a very large fireworks show. If you haven't been to Oshkosh before, the night air show is a great way to do that.
This is the time to be here, and the sky is just lit up. You guys do an incredible job.
We do. Big fireworks show, multiple acts in the air show at night, and it's something to behold. If you've never seen an air show, a night air show would really be spectacular for your first one.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Kyle. So we have more for you on our website, NBC26.com. You can take a look at that schedule. We have their website for you, so you can really get into all the nitty-gritty of all the details of what's going on here at EAA AirVenture. You do not want to miss it. It is so much fun to be out here. We'll have so much more for you coming up. We'll send it back to you guys.
All right, thank you so much, Emily. And she's just given us a start. There is a ton to see out here.
Yeah, just huge jets. And one pretty cool place can let you take a look into the future of aviation.
All right, now at Aviation Gateway Park, the Blackfly from Uber is on display. The Ultralight is a multi-copter airplane. It has 8 rotors. It can land on water and the ground, and it could be the new way people get around.
Aviation's really evolving. There are going to be many different opportunities for people to get involved in various aspects, whether it's personal, whether it's commercial. So at EAA, we're kind of keeping our eye out in terms of what are some of those new technologies and how it's going to affect airspace and navigation and the environment and societal acceptance.
And it's just a home build right now, but it is expected to go into production in the near future. Now, Fish, you're not going to believe this.
Okay.
But the price of this thing is comparable to about a high-end SUV.
Wait, you've got to think of like prices of aircraft stuff. Usually that's like millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands. This not so much?
No, this could be somewhat affordable for people. Kind of cool.
I'll buy you one.
No, you buy me one, yeah. All right. Now, Fish, another question for you.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to be up in one of those traffic control towers? We drove by it on our way in. Pretty cool.
Yeah, and Ryan Curry, he takes a look at one of the busiest control towers at this time.
Turn left direct to the runway numbers, runway 36 left, you're clear to land on the yellow dock.
It's the busiest time of year for these operators.
T6, make sure to approach runway 36 right, clear to land at the red square.
It's one of the biggest summer events in Northeast Wisconsin. On the 50th anniversary of AirVenture Oshkosh, these traffic operators are focused on landing thousands of planes ahead of the convention this week.
Here it's not work. It's a love of aviation. It's a love of being together with our friends again and sharing in a common goal.
Tim Fitzgerald has been working in the EAA Air Traffic Control Tower for around 15 years, and he says every year the small airport in Oshkosh acts larger than some major airports. He says over 3,000 flights will land in a 15-hour period.
It's a big deal. I worked at O'Hare for many, many years, and I could say that O'Hare never got as busy as this place gets, not even close.
But even with the large number of flights heading in and out of Oshkosh, Fitzgerald says this week is about celebrating one of the greatest inventions of all time.
The first time you come here for the airplanes, and every time you come here after that, it's to see old friends and be with the people that you know and love.
Reporting in Oshkosh, Ryan Curry, NBC26.
All right, thank you so much, Ryan. Now, for kids who come out to EAA, this might be one of their first chances to see a real plane up close.
Yeah, and thanks to one special program, some of these kids can get the chance to get up in the skies.
All right, now the Young Eagles have an interactive setup in the Blue Barn here at EAA. Folks of all ages are encouraged to stop by and learn more about being a Young Eagle. Volunteers say it's an important program for the future of aviation.
The industry as a whole is so short of pilots these days. The airlines, general aviation, everyone is looking for pilots. Kids have so many things to choose from right now. There's so many ways they can go. We have to get to them and give them the option of, hey, you know what? You could be a pilot.
And there are chapters all over the United States, but right now at EAA AirVenture, they'll give you all the information you need to get involved with the program and to take in the fun on their next flight. Now, the drone light show that was scheduled for tonight has been canceled. 100 lighted drones were supposed to take flight during the night air show tonight. Officials say due to technical issues, things just didn't work out. They hope to have them back next year. For event information and everything you need to know about EAA AirVenture, head to our website, NBC26.com, and download our app. It's free. All right, let's take some time now, Fish. Let's toss it back into Matt Jarko. He's holding down the studio for us. He's going to take a look at our top stories today. Matt?
Thanks, Brooke. And excuse me. And we apologize for the technical difficulties. We'll be right back after a short break.
Thanks for watching with us this morning. We are live out at EAA this morning. Pretty exciting morning for us to be here on the grounds.
We have a Boeing 747 right here. There's a refueler.
Huge planes. We're surrounded by huge planes here out at Boeing Plaza, and we're starting to see some pink in the sky, like we're going to have a really pretty sunrise.
Yeah, that's a good thing, by the way. That's a good thing. That means things are completely quiet. Brooke and I do have some goosebumps.
It's a little chilly.
It is. compared to what we've been used to, but high pressure in charge for us now for at least the morning hours here. This is a really similar type pattern as yesterday, where we have just those pop-up isolated showers in the afternoon where a lot of you don't even see them whatsoever. Now here's a live look at the radar. You see nothing going on for us. And actually, I think a lot of your day is going to be like that, where it's just pretty much quiet and relatively comfortable. I mean, we're going into the 80s today, but either way you cut it, that's, right around average. I'll get to that in a bit, but watch what happens here on Skycast as we go into the afternoon. See those couple little dots of green? That's that chance of an isolated shower or rumble of thunder. It's just like yesterday where most of you didn't even see that. So I wouldn't bank on seeing those today. They're going to be very isolated. Here are those averages. Average high for today, 80, and we're going to be just a little bit above that. But it's nothing that you can't handle. It actually will be pretty comfortable. We've got yesterday there was 81 in Green Bay, but look out to the west. See Minneapolis at 83? Coming our way for today. Maybe cooling down just a bit at the lakefront, but right now, where Brooke and I are standing, it's 59. That's probably why we have goosebumps. Yeah. We're not used to it. 59 degrees here and Fond du Lac, 58 in Green Bay. It's actually a really comfortable start. Remember, we have a lot of campers out here who are probably windows open, tents open. Look at that dew point also, really nice, 56 degrees, but you see them sneaking up into the low 60s out to our west. We'll feel a little bit of that humidity this afternoon, but it's nothing that you can't handle. All right, here's a look at Skycast around the whole state. Watch the little tiny dots of green. Very isolated. All right, so what I'm trying to say is don't really bank on seeing much in the way of rain today. If you would, well, I guess I'll just call you lucky that you even saw something like that. So that's your story for today. It's kind of like yesterday. Maybe one of those straight pop-up showers or a rumble of thunder this afternoon. Otherwise, just a couple degrees warmer than yesterday, 83. Wind not too bad, so maybe cooling down a little bit by the lake. For tonight, if there is one of those straight evening showers, it's going to come to an end, 63 degrees. And for tomorrow, looks quiet, 84, and a little bit more humid now. And we're going to keep summer going here, which is fine. I mean, it is July. There's Friday, 85 degrees, Saturday, 86. We could see some thunderstorms on Friday night, possibly into Sunday and Monday. But, I mean, Brooke, when it comes down to it, summer lovers, now they've had a pretty nice stretch. And for the rest of us who wanted just to cool down, that's this morning for you.
Yeah, it really seems like a perfect week for anyone who wants to come out to EAA.
Pretty much.
All right, thanks, Fish. Now, still ahead, we head back into the NBC26 studio to talk about your top stories of the day, how the new Wisconsin state budget is calling for an expansion project in the Fox Valley. Stay with us. All right, thanks for being with us this morning. We're live out at EAA AirVenture, and we have a pretty neat setting around us, I'm not going to lie.
It's a 747 engine that you were just looking at. I mean,
it's huge.
Does it get any better than that?
No, very cool out here. We're surrounded by planes. The sun is about to rise, and it's beautiful pink and purple skies. Just awesome out here.
It's nice and quiet, that's for sure.
All right, so we're going to send it back into the studio for a little bit. Matt Jarko is going to give you a few of your top stories.
Matt?
All right, thanks, guys. A search is on for two Wisconsin men who have gone missing while on a business trip to Missouri. 35-year-old Nicholas Diemel and 24-year-old Justin Diemel have been missing since Saturday now. According to the Clinton Sheriff's Office in Missouri, an abandoned vehicle was found in Holt. That's about 30 miles north of Kansas City. Nicholas's wife, Lisa, says the brothers were scheduled to fly back to Wisconsin Sunday, but they never checked into their flight. We also spoke with Nicholas and Justin's mother, Pam, about her son's disappearance.
I have no clue what's going on. We're as shocked. I can't even believe that something like this could happen. You go on a business trip, and you're coming back from the person you met with, and your truck didn't make the flight. They didn't make their flight home. They found the abandoned truck on the side of the road with their carry-ons, and that was it.
Here now, another look at those two missing brothers, Nicholas and Justin Diemel. If you have any information, please contact the tip line. There's the number there on your screen. Well, NBC26 is your official Packer station, and the Green and Gold have arrived in Titletown for the start of a new season. Since the summer of 1958, the Packers have bunked up in the dorms of St. Norbert College for the duration of camp. This year, though, the players showed up with some additional luggage, like Blake Martinez with his 1-year-old baby daughter, who he says will be tough to leave for the next couple of weeks at camp.
Yeah, it's going to definitely be tough, and it'll be crazy to kind of see her 2 weeks from now and be like, what the heck happened? But yeah, she's obviously the best thing ever. She's super sweet, so I'll definitely miss her.
Well, today is the Packers' annual shareholders meeting, followed by the first day of training camp tomorrow morning. The new state budget calls for a major highway expansion project here in the Fox Valley. The state secretary of designee of transportation says there is nearly $400 million of new revenue in the budget, and infrastructure is being targeted. One of the planned projects is building more lanes on Interstate 41 between Appleton and Green Bay.
So we're going to be adding a lane in each direction so that it'll match with when you get up to Green Bay how wide it is, and south of that in Appleton as well. So that about 13-mile stretch, we'll be adding a lane in each direction. And so, as you said, it gets congested in that area now, and our accident rates are higher during that stretch too. So we're going to be improving. That's going to be one of the areas we're going to be improving.
Thompson says if things go as planned, construction on this project could begin in the next 2 to 3 years and could be completed in 6 to 7 years. After months of anticipation, former special counsel Robert Mueller will testify publicly before the House Judiciary Committee and House Intelligence Committee today. Mueller will testify on his report into the Russian interference during the 2016 election. He's expected to testify before the House Judiciary Committee first, before taking a break and appearing before the House Intelligence Committee later. NBC News will have live coverage today of that testimony on Capitol Hill. That is expected to begin around 7:15 this morning. It could run most of the day. That means Days of Our Lives will not air in its regular time slot. We will air Wednesday's show at noon tomorrow, followed by Thursday's episode at 1 p.m. So be sure to tune in for a marathon Days of Our Lives extravaganza from noon to 2 tomorrow. Coming up after the break now, NBC26 is live at EAA. We'll check back in with Fish and Brooke to talk about everything going on this week that'll have aviation fans soaring. Plus, ever-changing innovation, how one company is bringing cleaner options when it comes to power.
All right, thanks for being with us this morning. Fish and I all morning have been oohing and eyeing. We're just surrounded by planes. We're trying to figure out what each one is. Pretty cool.
You're trying to figure that out. I got it.
Well, he knows what they are. I don't know. But there is a lot to check out here at EAA AirVenture.
Yeah, and so much to learn.
All right, our Emily Byer joins us live now. She has more live from the grounds. Emily?
Hey guys, good morning everyone. Yeah, the innovation that you find out here is ever changing, and one local company is looking to bring cleaner and more efficient options when it comes to finding power. Take a look.
Power is something we don't think about until we don't have it anymore. And as soon as we don't have it, then everybody wants to know when the power is coming back on.
Menasha-based company Accelerate, which is a division of Faith Technologies, is unveiling 3 new products at this year's EAA AirVenture.
There's definitely a dual purpose for a lot of the products that we're developing and installing at our customer sites.
The products include a solar ground mount, a solar walkway, and energy storage and controls, collecting energy from the sun.
Putting renewable energy to the test and the charge.
We have a Tesla Model 3 that we actually have sitting in the booth this morning that we're charging off of clean solar energy.
Sure, it's cool. They can charge a car, but this energy can be used for so much more.
This is very useful for small local regional airports that are concerned about natural disasters, and they need to keep the lights on, they need to keep powered during those situations.
And they've seen it in action. Just last year, Faith Technologies and Accelerate Manufacturing installed a first-of-its-kind microgrid in northeastern Wisconsin at Bubolt's Nature Preserve.
The storms this past weekend when North Appleton was without power, we're thankful that Bubolt's was still up and operating, disconnected from the grid, utilizing the microgrid products that we installed, the solar and the energy control center.
Bringing the innovation that inspires at EAA AirVenture to the grounds and hopefully to the future.
In the future, power demands are going to continue to grow, and there's going to continue to be more pressure put on the utility grid. So the more that we can utilize renewable energy or clean energy to take some of the pressure off the grid, it's going to benefit everyone.
And once again, you guys, you can see them. They are charging ultralight aircrafts in the campgrounds. You can see those there, but you can also come and check them out here at their booth and at the North and South 40s. They're going to be here all week to enjoy. We'll send it back to you guys.
All right, thank you so much, Emily. Now, Fish, right now, it's pretty quiet around these parts. There's not a lot of people out, pretty much just a couple volunteers and security guards.
And a lot of people sleeping probably in their campers and tents, and I think they're nice and comfortable too this morning, Brooke. Here, take a look at this temperature here in Oshkosh. It's for the pilots too, 59 degrees. Ceiling height is unlimited. There is not a cloud in the sky. The visibility is pretty much perfect. A nice southwesterly breeze. We'll keep that breeze around today, out of the southwest. Now, notice here on Skycast, this is just like yesterday. Watch these couple little dots of green. You can barely even see them. That's that slight chance of maybe a stray shower this afternoon. It could have a rumble of thunder, but just like yesterday, most of us didn't even see that. Those of you who did, you see that quick little downpour move on through. Otherwise, for most of the day, we're going to be fine, going up to 83 degrees. Summer is here. This is great aviation weather for us.
Yeah, you really can't ask for anything better than that. All right, now still to come, a teaching experience. How visitors to EAA AirVenture always find something new to learn about the future of aviation. Stay with us. Thanks for tuning in with us this morning. A really great morning to be watching with us because we're live at Boeing Plaza here at EAA.
Yeah, that's Brooke Hafes. I'm Michael Fish, and it is, all right, we're calling it just a little tiny bit chilly, but we've been standing out here for a couple hours right now.
We got goosebumps.
We do have goosebumps. It really is comfortable. When you step outside, if you're coming to EAA this morning, very, very nice. Now let's take a look at the maps at what I'm talking about here for today. This is a very similar setup than what we had yesterday. High pressure and charge for us, that means relatively quiet weather for most of the day. Now this is what Brooke and I were talking about, 59 degrees. It's cooler than we've been used to, but actually that's average. Unlimited ceiling, visibility is perfect, the skies are clear. It is a nice morning, and look at precipitation-wise around the whole state. We got nothing going on. Fantastic. All right, Skycast, so this is almost the exact same setup as yesterday. Watch really closely on your screen. You can barely even see it here. A couple little dots of green. That's just a chance of an isolated shower or rumble of thunder, but just like yesterday, most of us didn't even see it, and most of the day was fine. Now, current temperatures, see, you should check with people in Anago. It's 51. They're probably going to be like, ooh, yeah, it's a little cool. But it really is nice out here. Humidity's not bad. There's Green Bay. You're sitting at 58. In Appleton, you're 59 degrees. Now, as far as the rest of our day today, we got a pretty nice one. Feeling like summer. 83, you're going to notice the humidity creep up just a bit this afternoon. Maybe that stray afternoon shower into the evening. Otherwise, Brooke, not too bad of a day here for EAA.
All right, thank you so much, Fish. Now, there is always something really fun here at EAA AirVenture.
Oh yeah, and our Emily Beyer, actually live here at the EAA grounds this morning. She's always learning something. Morning, Em.
Hey guys, good morning everyone. You know, and it's really easy to learn a lot when you've got someone like Chris Henry showing you around the grounds, because you know everything, and that's what I love about you. You know all the little fun nitty gritty, those fun stories that you hear about stuff, and you know everything about a lot of the aircrafts here. So tell me, we're in the vintage area. Tell me a little bit about this area.
So the vintage area is basically for aircraft. I mean, you can go back way back as the 19-teens. All the way to 1970. Vintage aircraft, civilian at the time. So when we have warbirds that are on the other side of the field, that's the classic military aircraft.
Yeah.
These are all the civilian airplanes.
Okay.
A lot of these aircraft are the aircraft that taught America how to fly. And when you look at it, a lot different. The aircraft down here are mainly made out of fabric, covering, wood, and then of course eventually into aluminum. But you won't see much like composite and stuff like that. What I really think is cool, because we have a lot of the airplanes from the 1950s and 60s down here in the vintage area.
Yeah.
You see a lot of the cool colors of like turquoise or the pinks, things like that.
Absolutely. And now tell me, is this more similar to like what the Wright brothers were kind of thinking when they were doing those early drawings when they were trying to fly and everyone thought they were crazy?
That's exactly right. This is a lot. I mean, you're only removed from the Wright brothers by about like 15, 20 years down here in some areas.
Okay, so it's really cool. It's neat to kind of see this is the start of aviation.
It really is, and there's a really cool group here. It's our branch of the vintage branch down here. Really relaxed. They have different talks that happen here. We're in Vintage and Review area.
Oh, okay.
So different restorers, owners, people who are really keeping the history alive come out here and they talk about the progress and the sort of the journey that went along to restoring these aircraft.
Yeah. And what is the best part about, I know there's a couple different forums and talks that happen over here. What is the best part about being and getting to experience one of those?
I think what's really cool is any airplane on this airport has a story. And that's where you hear the people side of the story. You hear the just how much love, attention, detail, blood, sweat, and tears went into these restorations, and also to keep them flying. It's hard to keep an airplane like this flying 100 years in some cases after it was built, but it's because of the dedicated owners, volunteers that dedicate their time to this that we're fortunate to have them here, and they share them with us.
Yeah, and then we get to enjoy them all week here at EAA AirVenture. Thank you so much, Chris. So you guys, again, we're in the vintage area. You guys, this is just so much fun. We really just took in a quick little history lesson, but there's so much to see out here. So folks got to come out and see it for themselves. We'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Emily. Now, another thing worth mentioning is that EAA this week is remembering the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 mission.
We have liftoff.
July of 1969 marked the first time men landed on the moon and returned safely. Apollo 11 command module pilot Michael Collins will be a featured guest this Friday during the evening program at Theater in the Woods.
What it took, those hundreds of thousands of people that worked together to put man on the moon and return them safely during the Apollo 11 mission.
The Eagle has landed.
And they landed on the moon's surface on July 20th, where Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin made the first human steps on the moon's surface. Apollo 11 successfully splashed down the Pacific Ocean on this day in 1969. Now, EAA AirVenture attendees are learning more about the technology and the future of aviation.
And NBC26's Ryan Curry shows us more.
I think that we're going to see this move much more quickly than people really expect.
It's the first year Jay Carmel is coming to EAA in Oshkosh. He and many others have come to the annual air convention to learn about the future of aviation.
We need to be here to get on the front lines, talk to new companies, talk to interesting innovators, and get a better sense of what their technologies are doing and how they can impact the industry moving forward.
Walk throughout the grounds of the EAA AirVenture in Oshkosh, and you're bound to learn something about an airplane that you may not have already known.
Aviation Gateway Park's been around for about 4 years, and there are 4 different tents here that provide kind of a glimpse of aviation's future today.
Inside the innovation tent, you'll find all types of new technology, ranging from ways planes are built to virtual reality flight simulators to show people what it's like to fly a plane without ever having to sit in a cockpit.
You might not get the same instruction you get from a certified flight instructor, but it gives you a very nice, sound, technical and technologically friendly way of getting in a cockpit and understanding the principles of flight.
And participants like Carmel say learning the technology of an airplane can lead to a more efficient way of flying in the future.
Aircraft are going to have a bigger impact on society, on the environment, and ultimately, if we want to continue to allow aviation to reach into new markets and new countries, we need to make it more sustainable.
Reporting in Oshkosh, Ryan Curry, NBC26.
All right, thanks, Ryan. Now, Fish, have you ever wondered what it's like to be up in that air traffic control tower?
Well, yeah, especially this one, of course.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Numbers runway 36 left, you're clear to land on the yellow dot.
Whitman Airfield opened its doors to NBC26 for a look at how the traffic operators are guiding planes into Oshkosh. The annual airline convention brings in pilots and plane enthusiasts from all over the world. Some say it is the busiest airport in the world this time of year.
It's a big deal. I worked at O'Hare for many, many years, and I could say that O'Hare never got as busy as this place gets, not even close.
Another reason the airport is busy, the air traffic control operators work different shifts. They work 6 a.m. until 8 p.m. compared to airports that run for 24 hours. Now, for event information and everything you need to know about EAA AirVenture, you can head to our website, NBC26.com, or download our app. It's free. All right, let's take a minute. Let's send it into Matt Jarko. He is in our studio holding down the fort, and he's going to give you a rundown of our top stories today.
Yeah, Brooke, the Oshkosh Police Department confirmed Tuesday the child who was killed after a TV fell on her is 3-year-old Amora Bridges. Police are still investigating the death that happened on the 1800 block of Grove Street last week. Officers say a large television fell on top of the girl, who was pronounced dead at the hospital. They say an adult was home when it happened. Officials have identified the man who died in a fatal crash in Bovina as 54-year-old Craig Weber from Shiocton. It happened early Monday morning on North 76th near Kopke Road. Police say Weber died at the scene. He was wearing a helmet. The crash is still under investigation. Switching gears, NBC26 is your official Packers station, and the green and gold have arrived in Titletown for the start of a brand new season. Since the summer of 1958, the Packers have bunked up in the dorms of St. Norbert College for the duration of their camp. That makes it the longest continual use of any training camp facility by any NFL team. Today is the Packers shareholders meeting, followed by the first day of training camp tomorrow morning. The Packers organization expects several thousand shareholders and guests to attend the annual meeting set for this morning at 11 a.m. That's at Lambeau Field. Parking lots and ticket windows open at 8 a.m. and gates to the stadium will open at 9. Now let's send it back out to Brooke and Fish live from the EAA grounds to see what's coming up next. Guys?
All right, thank you so much, Matt. Now coming up after the break, we're talking about volunteers here at EAA. We'll talk to a father-son duo who has been out here for 6 years together helping out at KidVenture. Stay with us. Good morning, everyone, and thanks for watching with us this morning. We are live out here at EAA AirVenture. It's been a really fun morning so far, and we have some pretty great guests with us as well. We have Dave and Levi. Thanks for being with us.
It's our pleasure.
All right, so tell me a little bit about, you guys have been volunteering for a long time together. What's that been like for you?
It's been a real pleasure to work with the kids and watch them learn about aviation. They do everything from build motors to wings to brakes. And this year, Levi, he designed a radio that they could build and actually listen to air traffic here in the field.
All right, Levi, tell me a little bit about what that's been like. How did you come up with this idea?
Well, this is just a basic AM receiver with a trimmer capacitor. It can be tuned to listen to different aircraft frequencies, ATIS, and some FM stations as well.
And how do the kids kind of respond to building one of these things?
Well, they haven't seen anything like it before. It's the first thing like this at KidVenture, and they've loved it so far.
Yeah. So you guys have been doing this together. You know, tell me what it's been like to watch your son grow up doing this with you.
Yeah, Levi started participating in KidVenture at 5 years old. Dan Micah started this about 20 years ago, one of the directors of EAA here, and to watch a 5-year-old turn into a 21-year-old and actually start designing, and he's one of the deputy supervisors mentoring the children that he was once many years ago. So it's a real pleasure to watch him grow up and become a technologist the way he has.
Sure. And what's the need for volunteers at an event like this?
Huge. We manage over 500 volunteers every year. We have around 20,000 parents and children come through the event, and so we just covet the volunteers that we have, and they're really the motor that makes EAA work.
Yeah, is it kind of a cool way to get involved with EAA as well as a volunteer?
Absolutely, absolutely. So we have volunteers, some have backgrounds in engineers, some are pilots. In this case, the volunteers that are helping Levi and I run this booth to build these radios are ham radio operators. So if ham radio operators are out there locally, we'd love to have your help. Just talk to us.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for being here with us this morning. And of course, if you think you'd like to be a volunteer, you can stop by EAA's Volunteer Center to check out opportunities. The center is located across from the parking lot of the Red Barn Camp Store. It is open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day. Of course, we have all the contact information you would ever need to look to be a volunteer up on our website, NBC26.com. Let's send it over to Fish for a full forecast.
Right over there. It's not just about planes here. We got technology. I'm looking at the Ford booth right behind us, car, everything here. It's such a good time. It's like a perfect morning out here at EAA. All right, and this is what I'm talking about. Look at that high pressure in charge for us this morning. That means we're going to have a nice flying start to the day. It's pretty comfortable out here too. I mean, it's just a little bit on the coolish side, but all in all, not too bad. For the most part. Now, Skycast, this is a lot like it was yesterday. Watch how most of the day is going to be just fine here. Watch Skycast as I put it in motion. There we are, 1:30, still looking fine. But then, this is just like yesterday. You see it? Just a hit or miss, a very isolated shower, maybe a stray rumble of thunder. But we are not talking about an all-day deal. If one of you ended up under one of those yesterday, that means you got lucky. All right, so most of you probably not even going to have to deal with that today. Just be aware, like mid to late afternoon into the evening, we might see one of those. But right now, we're fine. And actually today, going just up a little bit above that average high of 80 degrees. Yesterday, we did 1 degree above that. 81 we made it to in Green Bay. Look out to our west. There's Minneapolis, International Falls, 83. That's coming our way for today. That's like beautiful summer weather when you think about it. Humidity's going to creep up just a smidge. Let's talk about right now first. As you step out the door in Green Bay, 58. There's Appleton at 59. Same with Oshkosh and Fond du Lac. Remember, these temperatures actually right at average for this time of year at this time of morning. Dew Point, those are so comfortable right now. Brooke and I have not been complaining about humidity whatsoever. But look towards Minneapolis. See the lower 60s? That's just a little bit more humidity on the way for this afternoon. Nothing that you can't handle. Skycast showing that quiet day. There are those couple little isolated dots of green. Again, if you get under one of those showers or a straight rumble of thunder, that means you got lucky. All right, 83 today. That's our high temperature. That stray afternoon shower or straight rumble of thunder, most of your day is going to be fine. It could linger into the evening. Otherwise, the sun goes down. Those go away in 63. And tomorrow, 84, a little bit more humid. You're going to start to notice that. And we'll keep that humidity going Friday, Saturday, Sunday into the weekend. A chance of storms, though, Friday night, the way it looks, could linger into a little bit of Saturday, and then again Sunday and Monday. But Brooke, I mean, if you love summer, of course, you see all those 80s on the 7-day. This is your kind of weather.
All right, thanks, Fish. Now, still to come, Samaritan Aviation, the nonprofit that's making a difference here at EAA AirVenture. And if you've ever wanted to build an experimental helicopter, there's a chance for you to do so today at EAA AirVenture. You're watching NBC26 today. Thanks for watching with us this morning. Now, Fish, you know this, but one of the best things about EAA is hearing all the stories.
Back in my day, I remember.
Oh, gosh.
That's how it sounds.
That's a pretty good story. All right, thanks, Fish. And our Emily Byer joins us live from the grounds this morning. She has more on a nonprofit that's making a difference. Em?
Hey guys, good morning everyone. They're called Samaritan Aviation. They started in 2000 and they have one mission, and that is to save lives, you guys. And that took Mark Palm and his team more than 8,000 miles away from EAA AirVenture here. This is their story.
If we're not there, they can't get to the only hospital.
Samaritan Aviation provides emergency taxi for the people in remote Papua New Guinea. They've flown more than 1,100 patients to hospitals and have delivered more than 180,000 pounds of medical supplies in the last 10 years.
And these are places it takes, before we arrived, it took 3 to 6 months to get medical supplies.
Mark was inspired by the idea at a young age.
My grandfather was a World War II pilot, and my uncles flew. My dad was a minister. And so as a high schooler, he ran a homeless mission, and we would feed the homeless in Santa Cruz. And this idea of giving food and a coat and just showing love to people, you know, and looking around, seeing needs and doing something about it. And having an experience where I just felt God speak to me and say, you know what, Mark, I want you to use your passion for people and aviation to share my love in a remote part of the world. And as a 16-year-old, that moment completely changed my life.
And they hope to inspire others. Here at EAA AirVenture, Samaritan Aviation is showcasing its new 1976 Cessna. The nonprofit now operating with 3 seaplanes in their fleet, continuing their important work that's ever-changing.
Polio just came back this year to Papua New Guinea. It's been 18 years since they had a known case, and so this year alone, we've already done 65 flights just for polio vaccine outreach as they're working to try to vaccinate the entire country. It's the second largest island in the world. There's 8 million people that live on just the Papua New Guinea side, and a fifth of the world's languages are spoken there. So you have a very diverse culture.
Mark says it's a humbling experience, giving him memories he'll never forget, especially his first ever trip on Good Friday of 2010.
Land on the side of the river, they bring this mother to us. She's unconscious at this time. Load her in and back through the rain and the clouds back to Wewak. And you know, land, they rush her into emergency surgery. And I came in the next day with my wife and our 3 kids. And I'll never forget walking in there and seeing this lady holding her baby. And just realizing that we had saved 2 lives.
Yes, they did. You guys, their story so powerful. And fun fact, Mark actually had told me that that woman, the mother, had actually named her son after Mark. So that was 9 years ago. Mark and little baby Mark have since met. So just an incredible organization, and one of the very many that you can see out here at EAA AirVenture. You can check them out. They are at the seaplane base. You can learn more about them. They're here through the end of today. We'll send it back to you guys.
All right, awesome story. Thank you so much, Emily. And it's really an awesome view here because the sun is starting to come up. We have a beautiful sunrise over the plains. We're on Boeing Plaza. It's really neat out here.
I think that's a seaplane right there, too.
Pretty cool.
They're all over. There are planes everywhere, and I've got a 747 right behind the camera, too. And for pilots, I don't know if they're flying around today. I know they have the programs going. Look at right now in Oshkosh. Pilots' current conditions, 59 degrees. Nice, gentle breeze out of the southwest, 6 miles per hour. Ceiling height, unlimited. There is not a cloud in the sky. The visibility is perfect, but, you know, just like yesterday, you can barely see it here. See on Skycast? It's stray little dotted green. That's that slight chance of an afternoon shower, maybe a rumble of thunder. But that means most of your day is going to be all right. Add 2 degrees onto yesterday, going up to a high of 83. If you love summer, it's your kind of weather.
All right, we're going to take another break. Before that, let's take a live look outside on our Green Bay Tower Cam. You're watching NBC26 today. Stay with us. Happening today at EAA AirVenture. If you've ever wanted to build your own experimental helicopter, today you can learn how. At 8:30 this morning at the Aeroplane Workshop, there will be a discussion of how to assemble an experimental helicopter as well as flying and owning it. Construction manuals will be provided. Everyone is invited to schedule a demo ride after the discussion. Have you ever ridden in a helicopter?
No, but an experimental one sounds a little interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. Cool stuff.
But you can learn how to do pretty much everything, it seems like, at EAA. There's even a Ford booth back here. So you got cars, planes, a whole gamut. And you know what? If you are coming out to the EAA grounds, first of all, this morning, it is just gorgeous out here. There's almost no humidity. There's not a cloud in the sky. We have a beautiful sunrise that I just looked at, and now I can barely see.
You blinded yourself.
Whoops.
Good job.
Maybe don't do that again. As far as the rest of your day, we're going to start off with a ton of the sun. And just like yesterday, you're probably going to see a couple of cumulus start to pop. And with those in the afternoon, if you would see a stray shower or rumble of thunder, don't be surprised. But most of you should be fine for most of the day, going up to a high of a very summer-like 83 degrees.
All right, you have another full hour of live at EAA, Fish and I, news and weather. Stay with us. You're watching NBC26 today.